Hello guys, and welcome back to Motorsports Review. And in today's video we're going to be talking about some new cars coming in 2020 and in 2021. Now recently I didn't talk about these cars, but there are some cars that have been announced from Ford and Dodge. So these are the cars that I'm going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the new 2021 F-150, and we're going to also be talking about the new Bronco, as well as Dodge's new lineup with the new 2021 Dodge Durango SRT Hellcat and many of the other Dodge Durangos. The new Dodge Challenger Redeye Super Stock and the new Challenger Redeye. So there's a lot of cars to talk about, and I just want to dive right into it. So yeah, let's get into the video.
This could be us. So back to what I was saying. Could be us.
First, I'm gonna start off with the news that Ford recently announced. Now, Ford recently announced their new 2021 Ford F-150, but they haven't yet announced the Bronco. The Bronco's reveal date is coming soon. I don't exactly remember the date, but I'll have it on the side of the video for you guys to see. So I'm gonna start off with the F-150. Now the F-150 doesn't really seem like a all new model. It almost seems like a refresh, but I can't lie, it's very spectacular. And so now I'm gonna break down one of my top 5 features of the new F-150, and then later on I'll talk about a little bit of what we know about the new Bronco. So let's get into that. Number 5, you need a light. Well, on the new F-150, there is an option to selectively choose where you need the truck to light up in areas. Now this makes your truck more practical, especially during camping when you need lighting in certain areas, and you might want, darkness in other areas too. Now usually on the Ford F-150, when you open the door, the lights light up. Sometimes even the mirrors light up in some selected areas, but now this is more on hands, and now you can select by your choice where you really need the light to be lighting up. Now number 4 on our list is the onboard generator. Now the onboard generator makes it much more easier, especially on construction sites. You have to go with the hybrid option of the F-150, which is not really a problem because the new hybrid option also adds a little bit of power, but I felt like they only added the hybrid option to make it more practical, especially when you need, a little bit of electricity. Hello, ma'am, can I help? The generator comes with a lot of outlets and stuff like that to make it much more practical, much more useful, especially when you're at a construction site and you don't really want to, carry a generator and a bunch of other equipment. So it's good to have it on board and use it anytime you need it. Now, there's number 3, need a table. Yeah, this thing comes with a table. Now, what do you mean by it comes with a table? Now, on the F-150, it has an option where you can flip the center console to make it a table, because a lot of contractors might need to use their computers and laptops, and it might become much more comfortable and useful to have a onboard desk anytime you really need it. Is it likely to break? Maybe, but it's still cool, and you don't really get offered it on many of the other competition. So that's why you should get the onboard generator. It is very useful, and hands down, I would say it's the best feature that Ford has brought. So that's why I chose it for number 3. But now on to number 2, over-the-air software updates. Now, what is the over-the-air software updates? Over-the-air software updates is an ability to update technology, just over the air using Wi-Fi or whatever. Similar to what Tesla does. It's also something you do with your phone. I mean, it's just software update, but it's not just any software update. The reason why they added the software update is, well, I'm gonna get to that in a minute, but it's very important. It's the first time I've seen a gas-powered truck really have such up-to-date technology, such as the technology comparable to Tesla, and I think it's really awesome. That's why I chose it as my number 2, because it also involves my number 1. Now my number 1 feature, my favorite feature on this truck, is 100,000 miles of hands-free driving. Now that's why you need over-the-air, software updates. The reason why is because it not only, improves the technology, but it also helps the manufacturers such as Ford decide which things to fix, especially with this type of technology. Now, hands-free driving isn't the best technology. It may have issues here and there, and so the vehicle collects data, and they also might collect customer complaints maybe on the app, and that way they can update that technology so that it's much more useful, similar to how a Tesla Model S works. Now, you remember the feature where you could summon your Tesla? Before, it used to be you can just pull it out the garage by just pulling it backwards. Then you could do backwards and forwards, and then you can actually selectively control the steering wheel. And now it's like more like you can actually summon your vehicle, and the vehicle comes looking for you, only at a certain range. And maybe in the future they might improve that to where it's like a much longer range and it's much more useful. See, they have to collect data to improve the technology, and so that's why I chose it as my number 2, because it improves the number 1. It makes it extremely good. And who really wants to put their hands on the steering wheel all day? I mean, just imagine driving without even having to lift a finger. You can just sit back and rest your arms while driving. And that's why I think this feature is very important, and it also makes the vehicle better over time so that it's much longer lasting. Now, Ford hasn't yet announced the new Bronco, like I said, but we are waiting for them to really announce how it's gonna look and stuff. But they do have leaked images. Now, I'll put the leaked images on the side for you guys to see. Now, as you can see, the new Bronco comes with a lot of, it keeps its old original design, but it's more modernized, and it looks a lot, it looks a lot more off-road worthy, where it's like much more capable of really taking off, rocks, snow, mud, whatever comes its way. And I really like the design overall over the Jeep any day. Now, you could see it become at least a lot similar to the Jeep, because it shares, it's supposed to compete with the Jeep, and so it may share a lot of similarities with the Jeep, but overall it's an amazing vehicle, and it's like a Raptor but an SUV. So that's why I like the Bronco a lot, and I'm looking forward to actually seeing it actually come out. So now we're gonna get on to the news from Dodge. Let's just get right into that. Now we're gonna get on to Dodge. Dodge recently announced that they were going to be redesigning the new Durango. So there's going to be 1 redesign and 2 new trim levels. So the redesign is the new Durango. Like I said, the Durango looks a lot better. It's got rid of that ugly grille for all, I believe all the trim levels. It's gotten rid of the ugly T-shaped grille for good, because that T-shaped grille was definitely the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Now, the car also offers many other features too. Like, there's a new trim level, the new SRT Hellcat model, which is only available for 2021. So after that, they won't be making it anymore. Now, the Hellcat model makes 710 horsepower, no longer that 707 engine that was so common. I mean, it was just getting old. So the 710 horsepower engine, I'm definitely looking forward to. It may not be so much different from the other one, but at least it's something new, and we were getting tired of the 707. So yeah, but also the vehicle gets some other changes, like the interior has changed a lot, and it's no longer that 8-inch screen. Now it's a 10-inch screen with the new Uconnect system, which is definitely something I'm looking forward to. I was tired of that 8-inch screen, because come on, that 8-inch screen looked very ugly. But there's some, other drastic changes that they're bringing to the new Dodge Durango. Now that's done with the Dodge Durango. Now let's get on to the new Challenger Superstock. Now the Challenger Superstock is pretty much a Demon, but just made for Demon customers not to get mad. Well, what does that mean? Well, when Dodge was creating this vehicle, they purposely made it perform a little less than the Demon, because they didn't want to make the Demon customers mad. Now, I wouldn't really be surprised if this car was able to do numbers that maybe the Demon couldn't do. but they probably, you know, didn't put much effort into creating, you know, providing the best numbers because they didn't want to make the Demon customers mad, and that'd be a terrible little argument between them. But yeah, the Super Stock now makes 807 horsepower. I mean, honestly, you could have just gave it 805 and called it a day, but hey, Dodge likes to go full out. I don't really mind them doing that, but I mean, if you're mad about Demon customers getting mad, then what's the point in making that 807 horsepower car? They promised not to make the Demon again, but this is pretty much just a Demon just with a Redeye badge, which, I don't know, just called it the Redeye Plus, but who cares about what I say, okay? Nobody cares about what I say, apparently. So yeah, the car is pretty cool. I do like the new color of the car, and it has these rims that are similar to the Demon, but it's a new challenger, you might say. To me, I'm not very excited about this car, but hey, if you're big on the new challenger, then you can go ahead and check it out. But what I'm also excited about is they finally bring this car when they should have did this almost a year ago or 2 years ago. Maybe they should have did this when the Redeye actually came out, the new Charger Redeye, which is something I think they obviously knew people would probably request for, because who the hell doesn't want a Charger Redeye? But it took them so long just to do this. A 4-door sedan with a Redeye engine. I'm surprised they didn't even come out with this. I mean, people have been asking for this car for a while, but whatever. But still, they came out with this car, and I'm so excited to actually see it. It's just pretty much a Redeye engine but put into a Charger, which I would like to see how impressive this car is. Now, the car makes about 797 horsepower, so it is the same engine. So it is about the same, but yeah, it's a Redeye engine in a Challenger. So, I mean, no one was really going to care about the power output. It's actually good that they finally came up with this, or they finally put this together. Now, the car does do a top speed of 203 miles per hour, which is pretty impressive, but that does not make it the fastest sedan in terms of top speed, but it is still the fastest sedan and fastest muscle car in the industry. So yeah, the fastest sedan would be the BMW Alphany B7. That would be the fastest sedan, but still, this car is really impressive, and I'm surely looking up to seeing this, or eventually, you know, maybe testing this car out. But yeah, that'll be all for today's video, sadly. But I'm not a big Dodge enthusiast. Who really cares? But hey, I got onto all the cars that are coming for now. There are some other cars that I could have mentioned in this video, but maybe I'll mention it later on. Put down in the comments what cars you want to see me talk about. But yeah, that'll be a wrap for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below what cars you want me to talk about that are coming in 2021, and I'll sure get down onto that. But this is Abubakar on Motorsports Review. Until then, I'll see you guys next time.